Welcome back to The Betrayed. This is Gina Beck.
This is Drew Williams.
Thank you for listening, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We appreciate y'all, especially the reviews on Apple Podcasts. It really means a lot.
Yeah, and like always, thank you again for the continued support, continued engagement, and the hashtag Banana Cats.
How are you, Drew?
I'm doing all right, G. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Ready to jump into the podcast. We have a few things that we want to talk about today. Drew has a story that he wants to tell, but before we get into Drew's story, I just kind of wanted to talk about something that I feel like is relatable to everybody listening. You know, it kind of has to do with family. There's some things going on Facebook with my family in particular. So I kind of wanted just to talk about it and air it out, and maybe you guys can relate on some sort of level. So this stemmed from just me scrolling on Facebook, right? Just an average day. And I came across a family member's post, and it had to do with drugs, right? Just something random, like, if you've ever done this type of drug, you have no right to tell me how to live my life, or along those lines. Don't quote me on it. But a woman had responded on a side of our family and had said along the lines, you know, why do you post things like this? You don't know what you're talking about. If you say anything else, I'll make sure that you're done. Was her words, right? I'll make sure that you're done, she says. So it was confusing to me on this kind of post. And when I did, you know, I put my opinion out there. I can't hold my tongue. I love this person she's very dear to my heart. Don't talk to her that way. That's very disrespectful, right? Well, when I made my opinion, I found out that this stemmed from a post from someone else in the family talking about one of our family members that went to prison for it. He kidnapped and raped nieces and cousins within the family. And her comment was stemming from protecting him from a different post that my cousin had been a part of. So my point is, in this, is we all have family members or people in our lives that we know that stick up for these weirdos. I'm sure there's at least one person in all of our lives, I feel like, that sticks up for a weirdo. And maybe that's the reason why laws are not stricter, because people like them stick up for these people, right? So I'm very passionate about what we do, and it infuriates me to see things like this, to see them being, you know, just have people have their backs. And she's not the only one in the family. There's multiple. So it's causing a rift between the family, right? There's a bunch of arguments, there's fights. There's people who have strong core values but want to break those strong core values just to appease a certain family member. And that happens, I think, more than we know. So if you have your hardcore beliefs and morals, and somebody, even a family member, tries to break you away from that, you need to stand your ground and stick to your gut, because family's not the end-all be-all. I have more people in my life that I consider family that are friends that I met along my journey than actual blood relatives. So, you know, you don't have to hang on to everybody. It's coming from an empath. It's hard for me to do that, to just let go of people. But it's true. And we're only going to make the world a better place if we stand up for ourselves and stand up for the people that are going through this daily. The people that have been SA'd are dealing with these struggles mentally every day. And so victim shaming, gaslighting, and telling them, oh, you should have came out about it years ago when it happened. There's so many reasons why people can't come out about it. And 30 years ago, the internet was nothing like it is today. So take that into consideration when people are using this Me Too movement and trying to get their story out there. Don't victim shame and don't gaslight. I'm asking you with peace and love, because you don't know what these people are dealing with daily in their own mind, to the point where they don't even want to be here anymore because they don't have anybody to talk to. So be mindful of that, be courteous of that, and don't have your family members' backs just because they're your family members. Stick to your core values and what you believe in. That's
Especially
all
on
I gotta
subjects
say.
like this.
Something that I had to deal with. Right. It's something that I had to deal with this week, and I feel like a lot of people deal with it. So why not talk about it? And if you guys want to talk about it and you guys need somebody to talk to, you guys could always message me. Our links are in the description below.
Oh, gee, thanks for sharing that with me, because that's actually some pretty. I really can't say that I understand that, because I'm lucky enough that I don't have that type of drama in my family, but I'm sure there are plenty of other people that do. I don't know, like, yeah, when I got banned off Facebook, I said it was a blessing in disguise. I think Facebook is toxic as hell. Like, but I think in that situation it's a little bit different. But I do feel that everyone gets in everyone's business on Facebook.
A lot of pros and cons to everything. I think Facebook is great for family. It can be, and it can't be. There's pros and cons to it all, and sometimes family does end up bringing it to online because they can't pick up a phone and talk to each other, or they won't accept the phone call and talk to each other. And in this instance, people were not accepting to talk to each other on the phone or in person. So it got made into a post. You know how, like, when we post our, say we catch somebody and they have a previous record, and we take a screenshot of that record and we post it to let people know, hey, he's an offender, he's done this and that and the third. That's what she was doing. She just posted his record and the family went ape shit. They went crazy. And they started attacking her in the comments. And then there's very few family members like myself and a few cousins and aunts, and stuff like that stuck up for her. But there's also the grandmas and a few aunts and uncles and grandpas that just were not happy at all. And so my point is when people won't accept those conversations and they won't accept to have that communication and stuff, sometimes you have nobody else to go to. So you go vent to Facebook and you post some receipts and you let it all out there, and then they don't like it. And I mean, that's exactly what happened. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's wrong. I think that everybody handles things in their own way. But I mean, when I would have done that, hell yeah. If I have receipts on anyone that says that they were in prison for this amount of time for kidnapping and for the R word, oh, best believe it's getting posted. And I don't care if it's 50 years down the line. People should know about this human being that's still alive and living his day-to-day life, and who always offend. In my opinion, once an offender, always an offender. So
Absolutely, it doesn't change. Like I say,
that's how I see it.
he's hardwired. Sorry if you guys
Right.
hear my cat. He's really trying to be part of the podcast tonight. He keeps rubbing his face on the mic, so I'm sorry if it's picking up in the recording at all. Yeah, the like you were saying though, the blessing, it can be. The social media can be a blessing. It's all how much you use it and how you use it. But when you're saying the honesty part, like, it reminded me of that saying, everyone loves your honesty till you're honest about them. And it's kind of one of those things that's
Right.
just right on par. Since we're on the R subject, I've got one terrible thing to wrap this episode up with. This came from the BBC News. It was reported on the 16th. Title reads, Thai child modeling agent charged over image. Thai police have arrested the head of a child modeling agency after more than 500,000 images of children were found on a computer hard drive. Or hard drives, I should say. And I'm going to really butcher these people's names because I don't speak Thai. So, Danodech Nin Sengua 23, has been charged with child abuse and downloading images. Investigators say the images were found in a raid and the Neen Modeling Agency north of the capital of Bangkok. The raid was the accumulation of month-long operation that began with a tip-off from the Australian police. The FBI and New Zealand police were also involved in the investigation, officials said, alongside, get this, Operation Underground Railroad, a non-profit group that helps the governments rescue. Thailand's Department of Special Investigation, the DSI, said the victims included Thai children and also thousands of others from various countries. This is a industry and we're proud to have cracked it, said the deputy director at DSI. He said, image files confiscated at the Neen agency have been organized into different folders according to countries. Costumes and toys were also seized. A portfolio found by police during the raid claimed the agency had worked with more than 8,400 child models and actors since 2013. Police Colonel Korat Parangkorn, Director General of DSI, told reporters that the raid came a year after Australian authorities contacted him. An investigation named Operation Casting Call was launched, but the police only had a single photograph of a child to work with, said Cole Koratz. Painstaking analysis of the image led to the arrest in May last year of a man believed to have taken the picture. He later gave police the address of Neen Modeling Agency. Cole Koratz said the amount of evidence convinced investigators that the agency must have been behind the abuse of thousands of children. Mr. Neen has been charged with importing images into his computer and abusing minors, read the Bangkok Post. And this modeling agency is apparently one of the biggest child modeling agencies in Thailand. So that's pretty terrifying. I also I thought it was very interesting that Operation Underground Railroad got brought up. If you read we'll include it in the descriptions. They actually, in the Bangkok Post, they have an extra paragraph that describes how they helped. They say they helped do an analysis on the image, and they get less credit, like they're the ones busting this place. But we'll see what happens.
Speaking of the Underground Railroad, I literally saw something today. They're targeting musicians to promote them. Did you know that?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all because if you look at the backers, we'll link this too. American Crime Journal just came out with another little 7-minute video about one of their backers. He's probably a billionaire. He's connected to all that type of scene, so it would not shock me at all that they're getting people. I mean, didn't they have wasn't the first one Ashton Kutcher?
I think so. I was scrolling through my Facebook, and while we've been talking about this, and a sponsored post on Facebook popped up where I don't remember the musician. I'd have to go find it, but a musician was sponsoring them for this event coming up. It was insane. I was like, "What? Wait a minute." I'll have to go find it, and we'll talk about it next episode.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a subject we could literally do every episode. We could tag some. There's so much from them. It's amazing that nobody talks about it.
Yeah, it's wild. I think I want to leave it on that note. Thank you for listening, liking, commenting, and subscribing. We love you all. Until next time, Banana Cats.
Banana Cats. Much love. Peace.